Here I am in front of 12685 Fordline Road. One block, not quite one block north of Northline Road on Fordline Road. 12685. This is a house I rented and started employment for a company, and the man put me in this house, and in lieu of my labor remodeling the house. The original agreement was that we would that I would live free in the house, watch it for him. It was livable to some degree, at least. He said he had occupancy permit. Then he said in the spring, I'll tear it apart and you'll help me. And then in the spring, I could set up in the garage. I could go off for a few days, camp, or even camp in the backyard when the dust or whatever. You know, no big deal. I'm a big boy. Not a sissy, but this is all this here. You're about to see how wrong it is. I've worked for the man almost every job. He doesn't pull a permit, but is a licensed contractor. He cut those tree branches down onto the roof, blew holes in it in the fall, tore it open in the winter, put new drywall on it. Now there's water coming out of the light sockets. Black mold growing on the shower head that he put in. Black mold in the walls that was existing. One back wall is just totally ate out with termites and the joists. And he's not pulled permits or anything. Now, recently, he's pulled 2 permits. One for the windows and one for the driveway. And that window is the only one staying. This is one window. Water going inside of it, creating black mold. And there's the next. Each one of them with gaping holes in it, receiving water. There's 2 more windows, and as you can see, wide open. This has been over a month. It's all water damaged, and surely black mold is due to grow if not growing already. You can see the black mold or whatever, if that's dirt right there on the top of the window. I'm not really sure. That's why it's time for a health inspector or a building inspector. No one's ever been here. I thought he had all that taken care of before I moved in. This is this siding project, tearing that off and redoing the wall, you know, half-heartedly, covering up all the termite ate wood and everything else, replace a couple boards. And then this is an unlicensed contractor or worker that he hires to do his homes. He has 40 homes, and there's problems in pretty much all of them. I've been riding with this guy here, one call after another, one complaint, one court case after another. Some very grievous stuff. Something at one point was about either him or his agent, some sexual harassment for some girl that couldn't pay her bills. And these gutters are just overrunning. They were supposed to be torn off and new ones put on. And this is months and months. The house should have been torn out from the walls outside in case there was any mold or anything else. This window, then there was a bathroom window in between these 2 windows right here. And that sat open with not covered at all, just had pink insulation. That's all soaked, walls soaked, just covered it up. This electrical, there's a leak right here into the basement. He plans on fixing it, but he had all this work done, putting in this ground stake and all that right where he's got to dig. And I'm not even sure that's done right. It's been done by a unlicensed contractor coming here smoking weed. Now I've gotten an eviction notice for a dangerous drug situation that his men have created, if there's any. And I fixed up the yard, raked all them. You can see it's nothing but trees, limbs breaking every day. Everything he cut down, he missed all the things that really needed to be cut down, cut them onto the roof. And now I've cleaned up the area, cleaned up all this grass that was, and planted it. It was all just garbage. So many sticks underneath the ground and everything. I've really worked hard, hundreds of hours, to make this what it is. Now the asbestos siding on here, he tore off, threw in the yard, threw on top of my garden, and stuff even thrown and flung right next to my herb garden. So it's got black mold, asbestos, insulation, dust, and whatever else. And whatever else they emptied out of their pipe into the yard too. I get to eat that. I've done my best to make it livable and clean, keep the grass cut, everything. Now, there's a situation with rats. Not created by this property, but created by a neighbor. You can see corn here that's going to feed the rats later. All them weeds out there, there's holes where rats, just hundreds of rats. The bird containers spill over and it feeds rats. Neighbors have complained, and they came and gave me a ticket for feeding the rats. And then there's a situation where there's like 8 cats over there, and right there you can see a video camera pointing at my property, not hers. She's been over here threatening me, threatened to have me physically I'm just gonna say what she said. You need your ass beat. I'm gonna send my brother over here and beat your ass numerous times, running on my property, psychoed out. Then she tells me later, week later, that she has, you know, a problem. She was on pills and such. And the man wants me to burn all that. Ain't nobody gonna want me burn all that wood. I finally got him to come and take. This was all piled up with debris. Even threw it on my flowers and broke some of them, everything I just planted and put tons of work into. And so now I got an eviction notice from this crooked guy saying that there's cat pee throughout the house. That's because he keeps coming here and his worker not doing anything. This siding project took 14 days. Not counting the windows and the trim. That was all other days. It's been months. Some guy coming here at noon. When's he coming? Well, just leave your house open, leave the garage open. He's got keys, this and that. People coming in and out of my house that I don't even know. I call them and tell them somebody just walked out of my house. 6 a.m. in the morning, 8 a.m. in the morning, 12 a.m., whatever, even in the evening. He said, who? You know, I don't have it. You don't have a schedule. You don't know who's coming here. Why do they have keys? Why do they have keys to my house and they're not here to do any work? I don't understand that. And that's just, you know, it's part of how he works. Now, every single window is bad. Every single door. This is just left wide open. Dust, everything in it. Every door, the hinges are sprung. He undid them, played around with them, left them propped up, everything. You're supposed to leave them fastened together and then fasten them in, then undo the packaging so they stay square and don't wreck the hinges. Now this is a shower he put on. When I turn this on, we're getting wet. You can see it blowing onto the ceiling. It's blowing onto my camera now. Blowing onto the toilet, blowing onto the wall, right near a light socket. No sink. There's that. These wires were sticking out and bare and on. I touched them one night trying to turn this off and got shocked from these. It took a month to fix that. And called me why you being a sissy? Why you whining? Why you crying? Bathroom not changed. Nothing works right. I'm literally getting wet. You see that? It's falling onto my camera. Falling onto the floor all the way out to here. Spraying all over. Spraying back inside that wall, all around the wall. That's all new black mold because he don't know how to do anything. He does everything wrong. He's not licensed to do that. He won't bring a licensed person. That's just resting up there, and the guy said the wire was just laying dead up there. He took and cut wires when we were doing the drywall. He just cut the wires. You hear them arc, and then he throws them up in the attic. When all wires, he's done 50% of this home, all wiring is supposed to be done. These are live. Yes, sir. And he's got some guy that is not licensed. He's not, I don't want to be mean, but there's something desperately wrong with everyone he has working. Every time there's a problem on every job. Crashed his truck 3 times in one day, dropped a tree on me, flattened his tires. That's one day. Now he's dropped machinery off the back of a semi-trailer when he's not even supposed to be driving a semi. He has no medical card. And it's turning out that there's a reason why he doesn't have that medical card. And you can see all the leaves, debris, and water built up outside the windows, which is going in, creating mold. Each one of these. And there will be no window ledge inside, which is kind of ridiculous. In this room here, it smells of mold. And it's this whole wall. This whole wall here was, the window fell out and hit me. I went to open the window one day in the beginning, and the window fell out and hit me in the shoulder and the head. The whole wall was ate up with termites. He doesn't know what termites is. He says that's just water damage. You can see the bug holes in it. And this floor, soft, because it's all ate out. And it's just every single door, every single window, there's nothing right. There's nothing right. And it's, you know, there's more dangerous situations like that. This has been all winter long. I mean, this has just been ridiculous. These are live. The best I know, I'm not going to touch them, but those are live. They're all, I mean, I can show you downstairs. Those lines are connected and they're all turned on. The circuit breakers are on. Now we get water leaking through there. There's a huge amount of water. This is the kitchen. There's a huge amount of water in this area. As you see, there's no bathroom sink. There's no kitchen sink. Holes right through to the outside. Bugs. Cat smell from the neighbor next door. And this is the basement. He just come here with his brother-in-law 4 days ago and removed all his tools that were placed down here, so he's not going to work on it. He's abandoned the project. This guy can't come around because he can't stand to be asked questions or me to call Walt and say, hey, there's something wrong here. Why is he doing this? And, you know, the smoking weed and not licensed to work on this. This is the mess they leave. When they first tore out this drain pipe, it went all over the washer and dryer. Crap, toilet paper, everything. And when they did that day when they did it, you see this hole is wide open. See electrical box right there, right downhill. If that pipe plugs, that water shoots. It goes right into the electrical box, and it's very close. It's not code. It's criminal, done by somebody. Look at that rat fester. them hanging down the wall. Them are all lit and live. Don't clean nothing up. All this plumbing they did, and it's all wrong and running just crisscross anywhere they want to run it. That vent pipe, everything in front of a window, obstructing the window. None of it's legal, none of it's right. They just guess. They put in this. That's my housing, and actually I had to put, I'll tell you, I put this on there because there was nothing. It was just blowing in the air. It was never gonna make it up into the house. He just put, and the whole dilemma on that was it wasn't working right, and for days there was a gas smell. He kept saying no, and everyone that came here, don't you just smell trash? They put trash smell, methane gas. They don't use rotten eggs here. They use methane gas. It smells like trash yard so that you can smell it, because you can't smell the gas. And for 3 days, he kept denying it. And finally, I just had a fit and told him, you can smell it coming right through the vents. It's not even burning all its fuel or nothing. Now, they've done this. When they did this, the vent, that wasn't connected, and the fumes from here went right up in the bathroom. So we got that fixed. Then there was a problem with this fumes coming through for 3 days, made me sick, gave me headaches. Sitting on the toilet, right in front of it was a vent. In the winter, I gotta have the heat on, it's blowing unburnt gas in my face. And he kept telling me, no, you don't know what you're talking about. I've done tons of these houses. And meanwhile, he sued on every house. There was a complaint on every house. Problems with the city, or, you know, I hear all his drama all day long, every day, riding with this guy. Swerving lanes, talking on the phone. Literally, the worst driver, the worst contractor I've ever seen in my life. Lie, cheat, steal, anything. Just manipulate everybody. And then don't want to pay you fair wages. This guy says for doing that electrical box and stuff, he's getting like $30 a day. And then you can see here, just old wires hanging. Don't know if they're live or not. They don't remove anything and that's all just, it's all bad. And then you go under here, that is underneath that room where I showed you, where it's all laid out with termites. There's termite damages all through the wall and on some of them joists there. And you can see the water damage. The water's running through this crack right here. And I showed you outside, he's got all that, it's in the center of this window, he's got all that obstructed. Already done with the copper pipes 8 feet in the ground, now you gotta dig them out. When he knew of this before he did it, he's not planning on fixing this. He'll just paint something on there and he's gonna sell it. With old wiring, with mold left in the walls and not mitigated. He brought spider spray that wasn't made for residential use, wanted me to spray it. And I don't know if they spread it, but there's been dead birds, dead cats, everything in the yard. Or they're dying from the rats, got poisoned by them. None of this is good. And then he had a mold